Something I did actually want to mention as well is that at no point did I feel jet lagged. The first day I was obviously tired from traveling, but it was not like a jet lag feeling. And my whole trip, I was never at any point exhausted or beyond tired. And I really chalked that up to not really drinking. It definitely helped that it was winter. It's getting dark at 5 p.m. still. It's fucking cold as shit outside. On the second day, that was the only day we kind of went hard. And I'm low-key glad we did, because, bitch, I had the worst anxiety the day after, and even the day after that. I wasn't even crazy lit, but I was definitely, like, the drunkest I'd been in a while, especially since being back home, not really drinking at all. But literally all the other days, I had, like, 1, maybe 2 drinks a day, you know, at dinner, and that was it. And I'm so glad because I slept pretty good every night. I got enough sleep, and I was just energized. So life hack. So I did want to talk about dry January and the long-term effects of dry January, because obviously January's over. Let me know if you participated. I did not, because I knew I was going on this trip, and I just haven't really been drinking the past few months since being home anyway, but now I'm back on my not drinking. This article is from the Washington Post, and it's the health benefits of dry January. The thing is, often people don't go back to their old habits after, so even if they don't stop drinking forever, because they will have felt so good during January and while not drinking, they keep that in mind throughout like the remaining months. It also works in keeping people from binge drinking and just over drinking after, because it's that reinforcing message of like, oh my God, I didn't even know I could feel this good, rather than the shame of like having some external source or person tell you like drinking's bad, don't drink, like, oh my God, I can't believe you drink that much. So all the benefits of not drinking, y'all: weight loss, your blood pressure drop, reduction in insulin resistance, which helps in preventing diabetes, better sleep, oh my God, yeah, better hydration, higher energy levels, and obviously you save money. And one of the main benefits of dry January, or, you know, just taking a certain amount of time without drinking, is it leads to long-term control. That may not be long-term sobriety for everyone. It definitely helps people in controlling their drinking, and just knowing that drinking less makes them feel better. And I know I've told you guys, especially over the past year or two, I have just found that I get so much anxiety the day after I drink or go out partying or whatever, to the point where it's like, why the fuck would I do that? And now it's like, I just think about that instead of like, oh yeah, like having fun. It's like, oh my God, that's gonna be more anxiety tomorrow. Like, not even like, oh, I'll be hungover. It's like, I'm gonna have more anxiety. And I feel like since the pandemic, I've told you guys this too, like I've just dealt with more anxiety. So it's like, bitch, we're doing everything we can to keep this under control. And it's literally true. Alcohol spikes your cortisol level. So even after one drink, especially if you're prone to anxiety, you're going to feel anxious. So some tips for controlling your drinking, or drinking less, or even stopping drinking, not stopping to drink. Find a new favorite drink, like sparkling water with lemon or splash of cranberry. A lot of people like, you know, the Bella Hadid's drink, Can You Farks? I've yet to try that. It's not in any grocery store around me. My grandma actually got us this CBD, like, spirit. Well, I forget what the brand was, but that was really good. I will usually just have sparkling water, like, you know, around happy hour. That's always the time that I want, like, some kind of beverage. And I was never one to like drink every day, or like, oh my God, it's 5 o'clock, I need to have a drink. I am more so a social drinker, or like especially when I lived in LA, like on the weekends, you know, you go out, a lot of people drink by habit or default, simply because it's what they're used to doing. So my next like thing will be, when I go out, to order the sparkling water, or literally to have one drink and keep it at sparkling water. I feel like also, let me know if you relate, but if I go a long time without drinking, it's like I low-key forget like my tolerance. So sometimes if I'm out with friends and stuff, I feel like I will drink a lot like that first day back, because it's like I'll just have forgotten. So that's the thing, like it's very easy for me to not drink when I'm just like at home doing my normal routine. But sometimes in social situations, or, you know, especially if you're in that partying kind of scene and everyone around you's doing it, like, it's just kind of, yeah, I'm going to do that too. Like, you don't even think about it. So that's going to be my next, like, challenge. They also say in this article to manage your triggers. So instead of, like, putting yourself in situations where you're going to be tempted to drink, or it's going to be hard, like, instead of meeting your friend for a drink, instead, like, go to the movies, or go on a walk, or just go to dinner instead. They also talk about different apps. I haven't tried any of these. Let me know if you have. But they talk about the Try Dry app that tracks all the money that you didn't spend on drinks. And then they talk about Sunnyside, which is a mindful drinking program, and they also have an app, where you can set goals like not drinking on the weekdays. Once you get in the habit of not drinking, you realize how much even one drink affects you, both like in a, oh my God, like I feel so lit from this one drink sense, but also just how it affects your body. Like, oh my God, I feel so dehydrated after that one drink. And then you just think of like the night that you took like 6 shots back to back, and it's like, oh my God. No wonder I felt like shit the next day. So something I did really like about London is just the normalization of having tea time. I literally drank so much tea every day, and we would go to tea, and I drank so much chamomile tea, y'all, and peppermint, but mostly chamomile. I usually save that for like a before bed tea, but it literally would, me and Billy both, like it would calm us so much. Obviously it's not the same feeling as like having a drink, but it's like that, oh, it just like calms you towards the end of the day. Y'all know I fucking have anxiety, whatever. So I only had 2 coffees the whole trip, and I just stuck to herbal teas like peppermint tea and chamomile tea. And I swear that also made the biggest difference in anxiety. And yeah, like it's crazy, you know, you really have to do what they say if you like deal with anxiety. And if you want to feel good, like not, like don't have caffeine, don't have alcohol, don't have too much sugar. It's like kind of annoying, but back to my decaf life now. But yeah, this is definitely something I want to continue to do the rest of the year. I feel so good not drinking, and especially this trip, like literally having the results in front of me of like, oh, this is how you feel after a night of, it wasn't even like a night of drinking, but the night that we kind of like went hard versus like just having like 1 drink at dinner, 1 glass of wine, and that was it. Having so much energy, not being exhausted, waking up refreshed. So, you know, I'm sure it'll be a challenge at some points, especially during the summer, but I'm just gonna like really try to remind myself. And it's really cool just seeing how many people have realized that drinking is not beneficial at all, and how popular mocktails are. I forget the exact percentage, but literally the sales of non-alcoholic beverages and mocktails have increased so much over the past year. It's funny because I feel like so many more people were drinking like during lockdown and stuff, and now it's kind of this new wave of like people not wanting to drink anymore. And yeah, it's just so bad for you, bro. Like I just always think of that Canadian study. Like I think it's literally the Canadian, what is it, the health department or whatever. They came out with a new study that says 2 drinks a week for women is the max. Anything over that, you are putting your health at risk. And I just always think of that. I'm like, bro, like, who, like, if you're someone who goes out on weekends, like, 2 drinks isn't even the pregame, you know? And you just really have to think, like, bro, I just will be watching, like, club promoter stories. I'm like, how do they do it? They literally drink every single night, and you know they're drinking. They're like taking shots almost every single night. It's like a lot of people have this fear of like, oh my God, my life's gonna be boring if I stop drinking or if I drink less or whatever. Oh my God, I'm not gonna have any fun. But it's like all the fun you had while you were drinking or all the friends you thought you made, like those aren't real. Like it was only real because you were like not in your right mind. And so the real challenge is to cultivate authentic friendships and experiences just sober, like in your normal state of mind. If you feel like your life's boring and all you have to look forward to is drinking, it's like that's a problem. And I feel like that's just so many people's reality. And it's just sad that we don't live in a better society where like, I don't know, where a lot of people do turn to substances to feel any sort of like happiness, honestly. Let me know your thoughts. Did you do dry January or are you sober curious?